All right, welcome to today's Explainer. We've got something really fascinating and definitely controversial to look at today. We're going to neutrally dissect a YouTube pitch for a crypto token known as Flash USD. And we're doing this strictly by looking at the claims made by the creator himself in his video. Our goal here isn't to judge, but to really break down the anatomy of his pitch. How exactly does he structure his argument? How does he build trust to sell this thing? It is literally a masterclass in a very specific type of online presentation, and honestly, the way he uses visual evidence is super interesting. Let's dive in. To make sense of all this, we're going to organize his pitch into 4 clear pillars. Number 1, the live claim. 2, the wallet transfer process. 3, the actual uses versus the limitations. And 4, how he says you can buy these Flash tokens. So, starting right off with Section 1, the live claim, focusing on authenticity and proof. The creator of his pitch, a guy named Armon, actually deleted all of his old content to start completely fresh. So establishing credibility is clearly his absolute top priority here. To build that trust, he makes a super bold stylistic choice. Absolutely zero editing. He explicitly tells his viewers, my videos don't have a single cut. Basically, he's claiming that presenting raw, uncut footage is the ultimate proof that his product is 100% real. He actively distances himself from all that slick, high-end production, arguing, hey, I'm not some master editor, so you can totally trust what you're seeing. He really wants you to feel like you're just sitting right there in the room with him. And to combat those inevitable accusations of screen recording tricks or digital manipulation, well, he goes completely analog. He physically points an external camera directly at his secondary phone screen and even flips it to show his own face, just to establish that immediate trust with his viewers. By showing the actual physical device and his real-time reactions, he is trying to completely dismantle any argument that what we're watching is just some pre-rendered illusion. Moving right along to Section 2, the transfer process and wallet transactions. Now, we can map out his seemingly chaotic live transfer into a really logical 4-step sequence. Step 1 is absolutely critical to his whole argument. He explicitly says he has to start with a fresh wallet showing a strict zero balance. Why? Well, because as he argues, if there were already funds in there, viewers would naturally accuse him of mixing real money with fake money. Makes sense, right? So by starting at 0, clicking receive, entering the amount, and then showing the completed status, he's attempting to create this airtight, verifiable loop of evidence for his audience. And then he does something quite clever to prove he isn't just playing back a pre-recorded video. He needs a random number to transfer, right? So he spontaneously types in a massive 11-digit number. He explicitly tells us this is his own mobile number, and he uses that as the exact transfer amount for the live test. By sending over a 63 billion units of this token, matching his phone number perfectly, he's basically providing a unique on-the-spot timestamp to validate his live claim. It's actually a pretty smart tactic. And this perfectly illustrates his technical claims. You see, he doesn't just stop at one wallet. He deliberately shows the audience that these massive balances reflect perfectly across both major platforms, Binance and Trust Wallet. Plus, he shows it working across multiple blockchain networks, specifically pointing out TRC-20 and BEP-20. By proving these tokens show up on legitimate, widely used crypto interfaces, he's trying to bridge that gap between his obscure Flash USDT and the mainstream cryptocurrency world that his viewers already know and trust. All right, on to Section 3, uses versus limitations. Let's look at where this token actually works and where it fails. Because let's be honest, having billions of tokens on a screen means absolutely nothing if you can't actually use them, right? This captures the absolute core of his pitch. He claims the token works seamlessly on platforms like stake.com, various casino sites, and binary trading platforms where you're betting on graphs going up or down. But check out the other side of this. He explicitly, almost aggressively actually, warns buyers not to use it for peer-to-peer transfers or Binance futures trading. And his logic here is surprisingly direct. He argues that if he could just sell these tokens via P2P for standard cash, well, he'd just do that himself instead of making YouTube videos to sell them to you. So the real kicker here is his claimed use case. We'll call this the profit loop. According to his instructions, you deposit this Flash USDT into a casino like stake.com, you gamble with it, and here is the magic claim: any profit you generate from winning those games suddenly becomes real, legitimate cryptocurrency. From there, you can supposedly withdraw that profit, use it for P2P, and just cash it out. He's essentially pitching a closed-loop system where restricted tokens are laundered through casino gaming to yield real-world profits. Finally, Section 4, how to buy Flash tokens, and the surprisingly strict purchasing rules he lays out.
Having laid out his alleged proof and the exact utility of this product, the creator pivots straight to his strict business rules for actually getting your hands on these tokens. He gives two main avenues. The primary method is just contacting him directly via a WhatsApp number he provides. The secondary method is through a dedicated website called the Flash USDT shop. But interestingly, he casually drops a warning that he might just shut the website down at any moment, depending entirely on his own mood. This subtly pushes viewers toward that direct and arguably less formal WhatsApp communication route.
He also sets some very strict boundaries for his time. I mean, he practically begs viewers not to message him for small amounts. He claims that the underlying blockchain transaction costs, the gas fees, are just way too high to justify selling a measly 10 or 20 tokens. This minimum order limit instantly creates a barrier to entry, essentially ensuring that anyone who reaches out to him is already willing to commit a larger chunk of capital right from the get-go. So, as we wrap up this explainer, we are left with a really fascinating paradox presented entirely through the creator's own words. We have to ask ourselves, how do we weigh his insistent claims of raw, uncut, live camera transparency against a token that he openly admits only functions within highly restricted, specific casino environments? Does simply showing a massive balance on a screen validate the token? Or do those severe limitations on P2P and standard trading tell the real story? It's a huge question, and it really highlights the blurry lines between visual proof and actual utility in the digital space. Analyzing these kinds of pitches is just such a great exercise in digital literacy. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this source material today, and as always, keep questioning what you see.